Welcome to Simply Fun's How to Play Time Jumpers, a game where players travel through 100 years of history in a race to earn the most points. You can play Time Jumpers with 2 to 5 players ages 8 and up. Time Jumpers is great for teaching history, as players learn about some of the greatest achievements, discoveries, and events of the 20th century while filling out their dashboards. Time Jumpers also helps develop strategy skills, as players choose which sections of their dashboards to complete first, competing for the most points. To set up the game, each player chooses a dashboard and matching pawn. Give each player 1 bonus token to place on their dashboard. Place the category portal in the center of the play area. There are 6 categories in this game, each represented by a different color. Shuffle all the cards and deal 1 card to each player. The player whose card is the closest to 1999 goes first. Jump cards count as 0 and places their pawn on the red space that says Firsts on the category portal. Going clockwise, each player then places their pawn on the next category. Return the drawn cards to the deck and reshuffle. Using the deck of cards, place 3 cards face up next to each portal row. Put the cards in chronological order for easier tracking. Place the rest of the cards to the side, creating a draw pile. You may create 2 draw piles, placing them on either side of the portal to make it easier for all players to reach. Place the century spread and category focus score tokens by the category portal in descending order stacks 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, and 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Place the time span, accuracy, and bonus token stacks to the side, as they are given out at the end of the game. The player on Firsts on the category portal starts the game. Players take turns moving around the category portal, collecting cards based on a year within the 20th century. These cards are then placed on players' dashboards in chronological order to meet certain goals, like collecting a card from each category, or having the largest span between 2 years. Players earn points based on these goals, and the player with the most points at the end of the game wins. It is very helpful to understand what earns you points before starting the game, as there are multiple ways to earn them. Your dashboard has a guide for scoring points to help remind you, as well as a century catalog that shows which cards are available in the deck by color and year. How to play. There are 4 steps to your turn. 1. Choose a card from your portal row. 2. Place your card on your dashboard. 3. Replace the selected card. 4. Move your pawn. Choosing a card. There are 2 types of cards. Cards with a specific year on them and jump cards. Year cards get placed on your dashboard. Your dashboard has 12 spaces that make up 4 sections. Century spread. Each card in this section needs to be a different category color. Category focus. All cards in this section need to be the same category color. Time span. The 2 cards in this section need to be 2-year cards of different category colors, with the largest span between them. Accuracy. This card can be any category color, but should be as close to 1950 as possible. Jump cards. There are 12 jump cards in the deck. When selecting a jump card, also choose a year card that matches the jump card's category color from anywhere around the portal and pick it up. Then place your chosen card on your dashboard and move your pawn to the same portal row that the chosen card came from. Jump cards do not count as year cards and can be set aside after they have been used. Choose one of the 3 cards that are in the same portal row as your pawn. Each turn, you must take a card. You may not select from the other rows. Tip: when choosing a card, consider what other players are likely to choose and which rows may be getting new cards next round. Your choice also affects your movement options and your opportunities for cards on your next turn. So examine all the card options before making your choice. Placing your card. You may choose to place your card in any of the empty spaces on your dashboard. Completing a section will earn you points in the form of score tokens. Within each dashboard section, cards must be in chronological order. Cards on the right must be later years than those of the cards on the left. Cards do not need to be collected in chronological order, and you are not required to complete a section before starting another. Cards may not be moved once placed. You may choose to use your bonus token only once to move cards that are not already in a completed section. You may only place one year card on each dashboard space, with the exception of the detours space. Below the four main dashboard sections is the space for detours. Sometimes you do not want to place a card in a section of your dashboard. If this happens, you may use your detours space to set aside the card. Your detours section can hold as many cards as you choose, but these will count against you at the end of the game. Each card placed here will subtract 1 point from your final score. Replacing cards. Replace the empty space left by the card you chose by drawing the top card from the deck. If using two decks, you may choose which deck to pick from. You may wish to rearrange the cards in the play area to keep them in chronological order. If you chose a jump card, refill both empty spaces, replacing the empty space where the jump card was first. Moving your pawn. After you have selected a card, placed it on your dashboard, and refilled any empty spaces around the portal, move your pawn. You may choose to move to either one of the adjacent portal categories, or you may jump to the category whose color matches the card you just picked up. The only way to stay on the category you are currently on is if you chose a card in that same color. If you have selected a jump card during your turn, by using the jump card you will have already moved your pawn to your next portal space. You do not get to move a second time. After moving your pawn, your turn is over. Play continues clockwise with the next player until players have filled up all their dashboard sections or have chosen to stop. Earning tokens. During the game, players collect a score token when they complete their century spread, and again when they complete their category focus. Token points are on a sliding scale, so the first player to complete a section will collect the highest number of points. Note that when playing with fewer than 5 players, some score tokens will be left over. All other tokens are awarded at the end of the game. Bonus token. At any time during their turn, players can move their cards once per game by turning in their bonus token. Players may rearrange multiple cards and move cards across sections, but not across completed sections. Once a section has been scored, those cards are locked in. Use the Century catalog on your dashboard to understand which category colors are available in each decade. If a player does not move any of their cards during play, they keep their bonus token, and it is worth 1 point at the end of the game. Your game ends once all spaces on your dashboard are filled, or if you can't place a card on your board and don't want to place one in the detours space. You may signal you are finished by removing your pawn from the category portal. Players may choose not to complete a section. This will affect their final score, but sometimes it's better than filling their detours space waiting for a card. Others may continue playing. The game may end at different times for each player. Once all players have completed their dashboard or declared themselves done, the game ends. Scoring. Hand out the remaining score tokens to players based on the following. Time span. The player with the largest gap between the 2 years in this section gets 5 points. The second player gets 4 points. The third player gets 3 points. The fourth gets 2, and the fifth player gets 1 point. If there are any tied year spans between players, the tied players get the same number of points. Use the bonus tokens when there is a tie to create equal amounts. Players with an empty space here get 0 points. Accuracy bonus. The player with the card closest to 1950 in this section receives the 2-point accuracy token. The second and the third closest both receive a 1-point accuracy token. If there are any ties, the tied players get the same number of points. Use the bonus tokens when there is a tie to create equal amounts. Players with an empty space here get 0 points. Number of decades. To add these at the end of the game, pick a card from each decade off your dashboard and count those along with your point tokens. Players get 1 point for each unique decade displayed on their dashboard. The maximum number of points is 10, 1 for each decade. Cards in your detour space do not count here. Detours. Players subtract 1 point for each card placed in their detours space. Jump cards do not count for scoring purposes. All players add up all their score tokens and their collected decade cards and subtract any detours. The player with the highest score wins. Go back in time to witness some of history's greatest achievements, discoveries, and events when you play Simply Fun's Time Jumpers.